Chapter 8. Andriograms, the heart and soul of the Matronic Sphere. Alien mind breaker, -- In the eyes of some advanced civilizations throughout the universe, is human technology still at the stage of cave dwellers? Andriogram is a term and idea that originated from the root word android, which I created to establish a vocabulary for many of the unknown alien treasures I discovered during my research. You will not find andriogram in the dictionary or other words in UFO Chronicle like Matronic Sphere. All foreign languages used in UFO Chronicle are to assist humans in forming a vocabulary for defining an alien atmosphere of technology. I intend to create pathways for understanding the invisible world that surrounds and consumes our planet, and a new language will hopefully put a face to an intelligent alien network that operates under the radar of our society. For 20 plus years, I have studied andriograms. They seem to be the heart and soul of an invisible alien technological environment, which I have defined as the Matronic Sphere. They live tucked in the valley of their seldom seen world. On numerous occasions, andriograms appear to obey commands from an unknown source and work in unison as spaceships enter the Earth's atmosphere. All their playful games with one another, silent conversations, and random flight patterns cease. Suppose an andriogram is giving me their attention. In that case, it stops immediately, and they quickly continue their business and playfulness when the ships depart. Andriograms are the refined workforce for extraterrestrials currently monitoring our activities. Their creators have carefully designed them to be unobservable. Still, I have discovered andriogram, artificial intelligence, by the millions soaring like birds throughout the skies of Brazil, the grand mountains of the Kauai Islands, the Nevada deserts, and every continent. On every square inch of our planet, they go undetected. Although nearly invisible, they can walk, fly, and interact with one another like human beings. Even with a calm approach, andriograms remind me of undomesticated animals. Although they have yet to produce sounds for me, they roam freely in our environment. The night is best for newbies to recognize andriograms, especially in cities with many lights. They can also manufacture a culture filled with spontaneous activity, which makes them appear, through my limited perception, to act independently from one another until called to duty by their operators. Like stereograms, cracking andriogram visual codes that allow you to observe them clearly may be complicated. At first, I had difficulty relating, understanding, and connecting andriograms with alien sophisticated technology. Code breaking is not for casual observers to attempt to tackle the challenge. Several factors can cause binocular and stereo vision impairment. Various factors can cause misalignments of one or both eyes, making it a great challenge to observe andriograms or stereograms. The mind factor can also disturb any attempts to observe them. If the mind cannot conceive, it will not believe. But there are a few basic techniques for observing and becoming more aware of the shadowy worlds within the Matronic Sphere. A short list of andriogram capabilities can operate separately and independently from the larger group. Able to move large physical objects, like a car, for great distances. Transform into Matronic Sphere stars. Possess the ability to imitate the constellations. They can enlarge to the size of large buildings and reduce to the size of a peanut. Assist in extraterrestrial spaceship departures and arrivals by securing and blocking the area from being seen by uninvited guests. Able to fly as fast as rockets or faster. Routinely move through walls and physical matter. Often they streak like shooting stars through the sky. hypervision for observing Andriograms, enhances your ability to investigate a nearly invisible world that most of society cannot see by directly looking at a field of focus. For example, the air between two trees. Most will only focus on the trees if they look into a forest. But while using hypervision, you are encouraged to stretch the boundaries of sight and regular observation. Your focus will now become the area you concentrate on, between the trees or the atmosphere in your room that you otherwise rarely notice. Begin investigating your surroundings by attempting to see light haze around objects like power lines and among the edge of buildings, specifically rooftops and around trees on a clear night. Often, even during the day, you can discover the dark and light haze covering the sky and around structures much less dense than fog, smog, or clouds. In most cases, the haze is challenging to detect and represents only the first stage for observing Andriograms. Yet, it consists of unordinary movement, often observed without using my hypervision technique. The hypervision technique is handy during the early stages of eye training, especially when you cross your eyes and hold that position when learning to identify the more difficult attractions, like Andriograms and seldom discovered movements within the atmosphere. Hypervision technique for indoors. Turn off the lights in your room before bed. Carefully observe how the room looks in the dimmer light for about 5 minutes.
Why did you cry today? Wasn't everything wonderful? What got
Take mental notes. Can you see movement in the room that may be unusual, strange, or surprising? Then, cross your eyes and repeat the exercise. Note the differences in how you see the room with your eyes relaxed or crossed.
I want to walk away from love, thinking I survived the cold. Didn't know the price I paid till the truth took hold.
Please exclude insects or animals from your list. The room must be clear of flying insects, animals, and individuals moving about the room. Practice the hypervision technique when you are sure the room is clear.
But the nights got longer, space turned into stone. Now the sunlight don't feel golden, it just takes against my skin. Funny how a man sees clearer after losing what he had within. And I never thought the tear would fall, never thought that I could breathe this way. But I can whisper truth.
If you see or detect movement, ask yourself this question, which will help create the first stage for cracking the codes of Andriogram technology.
Why did you cry?
Why do I see or detect movement in the room?
What got in your way?
What is moving in the room?
Why did your light turn gray? I thought the sun was shining. Tell me why you fade away.
If you do not observe anything worth noting, cross your eyes while holding your focus on movement around you as you employ the hypervision technique once more. Hypervision technique for outdoors. Do your best to observe the cloud in front of you, for example, and the entire sky while crossing your eyes. When crossing your eyes, can you see movement in the atmosphere more distinctly, as faint, blurry, dark, or light spots? If you are unsuccessful, attempt for at least 15 minutes and practice for a few more days to see if you can develop the hypervision skills to the point that you can identify movement in the atmosphere. Practice outside in both daylight and night. The view of your environment transforms when you become aware of the invisible properties, traveling through the Matronic light and dark static fields covering our planet, which maintains the fabric of the Matronic Sphere. What are Matronic static fields? Static fields consume planet Earth and look similar to TV static. When a station is not tuned in or getting a signal but has a much softer visual texture, which the operators can control and alter. Again, when I refer to the operators, I am speaking about extraterrestrials who represent the possible advanced societies with whom I have established ongoing communication and who have the capabilities to influence and control our environment using artificial intelligence and advanced technology. Static fields exist within Earth's atmosphere, can be managed, can vary in density and appearance. Andriograms move and operate within planet Earth's dark and light static fields. The few times I have seen spaceships lower from the sky, or when extraterrestrials have visited me, the tiny pixels in the static fields look like they turn solid and plastic and become very still or may disappear. The static fields become more active, radiate brighter, and intensify in other cases. Then, immediately after the ships or extraterrestrials leave the static fields, the atmosphere returns to normal. Like the Matronic static fields, all movements by the Andriograms also become orderly before the ships enter the atmosphere. Their attention only fades. Their activity ceases once the ships come to a halt. After the ships depart, the Andriogram activity renews, but in no specific order. Due to these dramatic changes in the atmosphere and static fields, I made a distinction. At night, the static fields are easier to identify. YouTube has a few white noise stations that can produce similar images with a screen full of pixels, but static fields are less visible. Although I've noticed them my entire life, people have yet to discuss static fields in our environment. For some reason, it's not taught in schools, the workplace, or society, but they can be seen without exception when you turn off the lights in a room at night. I first noticed what appeared to be very active pixels at a young age. My mind wandered. I would sometimes stare for hours at the static in the room. It was fascinating to do this, as I believed the static was a creation from God, designed to occupy our minds before we slept. For those who want to develop the technique, turn off the lights for at least 5 minutes each night and observe the atmosphere. Sharp-eyed individuals will see movement within the static immediately. This may come in light spots, floating within or around the darker static. And for those of you who still have difficulty seeing anything, it's usually for one reason. You have not yet grown accustomed to thinking that static fields exist. The mind notices only what it believes is possible, so give it time. This static has always been present. It's a preset condition of our reality. Just like pixels are difficult to count in a motion picture, the same applies to Andriograms. In many instances, Andriograms appear composed of dark and light static, making them challenging to identify. They will not show up initially as black and white characters. During the day, it is nearly impossible to track their movement. I suggest training your eyes in dark locations where they are easier to see. Once you have trained your eyes to detect movement in the static, search for finer details of the Andriograms. I found my peripheral vision very effective early in eye training, but seeing the finer details of Andriograms has been far more complex since 2010. I can see them moving around me in the sky, but with less clarity. This means my technique is no longer effective, or the operators have made adjustments making them more challenging for humans to observe. But do not let this deter you. Every person is different. You may experience remarkable results and see Andriograms immediately. AIien Mind Breaker. Aliens versus the United States military. Who would win in hiding and seek? If you were playing a game of hide and seek in the forest with friends, would it improve your chances of winning if you were the only one who could see above the forest and through the trees as the ground below?